Hey everyone, welcome to Cowabunga Ranger Talk. This is year three. We are in our junior year. We're close to graduation. I don't know what we're graduating to, but Super 7 employees.
Right.
We talk about them enough. Why not? I am Mascara, and with me is a man among men. A champion in the podcasting game. My man David DTV83. Say what's up, buddy.
Hey man, what's up?
Hell yeah. Bro, you believe we're doing this for our 30?
Man,
Big
time
three.
flies. Time flies by. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, yeah. You seen any movies or done anything recently?
I've just been working on my YouTube channel lately, and it's kind of blowing up on me, and I'm kind of happy about it because we talked about that on our last episode that hasn't been posted yet because I've been editing it.
Yeah,
But yeah, so it's kind of nice.
yeah. That's great, bro. That's great. I've been. Well, you've seen some of the stuff I've been sending you, so we're like prepping a few episodes. So we're like nothing is completed, but we have lined up like about a month and a half of episodes coming up. Like they're not finished
Yes.
prepping, but we are in line with having multiple episodes. This episode, just kind of like so many rumor things came up. That's why it's sort of a rumor mill episode. Let's just keep it clean there. Uh, you don't have any pickups, right? Like you said.
No, no pickups today.
Yeah, I did get this right here.
No, that's a classic.
Yeah, uh, Super 7 Shadow Panther. And I played the long game with this boy because he's a repaint of Cheetor.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
Yeah, at Target they sell it for $21. I long waited this thing up until it was 650. At 650, I was like, all right, now I can get him.
Right? Right?
It's
Yeah.
a pretty long game, bro. I waited and waited and waited to get it because I was no, this is not worth the $21 plus tax.
No, we've been over the reaction figure stuff before. Like I said, you said they're too expensive for what they are.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I didn't realize they went up about $1, right? They used to be like
about that, yeah.
19, and now they're like 20.99 most places. Yeah. Oh, before before we get into any more news, I did see something that was kind of funny because you're more into the Power Rangers for Super 7.
Yes.
They have the triangle box for the Power Rangers, the reaction ones.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they are $25. You
Hmm.
see this?
I have seen it. Yes,
Bro,
it's
I
ridiculous.
saw an Amazon posting for get it at the low price of $25. Are you nuts?
No, you can go to Big Bad or Entertainment Earth, and they're the same prices there too. It's just, I
Yeah,
think it's stupid. I think $25 for something like that is stupid. Now the triangle boxes ones, I understand because they were a Comic Con exclusive at one point, but still, it's been like 2 years since then. So I don't get why they're so expensive.
yeah, you're right. It has been a while since we did that. I I was trying to send you something. I was trying because one of the episodes we're working on for a future thing is we're going to do the Technodrome. So I did the intro for the Technodrome, sort of the unboxing, and then we'll go into the full once I have all the pictures and everything done. Man, I have to get it out of my iPad because it was too big to send. I was trying to send it to you through Messenger, through email, and I couldn't do it. Then I tried to like shrink the video so I could send it to you that way.
You mean
Because
like zip it? Like you put it in a zip file?
no, just I went to a random website like 123 resize or something like that, and because
Yeah.
the videos like it was a minute. It was like 14 minutes and something. The intro, so it's it's in the box.
Damn.
So, but the size was like 520 megabytes. I was like, what?
Yeah. Easily. Easily.
That's crazy because then when I bring it onto any video, when I bring it into the Mac I use, then I'll use Handbrake, and then that'll resize it usually pretty well, and it keeps most of its resolution.
Okay, I'm just gonna make a comment here that's gonna blow people's minds. Since we're having troubles uploading it to email or something, why don't we use StreamYard for it? We can literally use the StreamYard, and you can send it to StreamYard off your iPad, and we can just blow it up like a single view.
Yeah.
And then I can just transfer it down.
Yeah. You know what we do have to do one of these days? Not actually filming an episode, but we just have to like test out different things. We just have to, okay, it's better to do it on Zoom, or it's better to use it on StreamYard, or we can get the backdrops to this, or if I send you something, can we do a live broadcast, or whatever. We have to do like a testing day, just to make sure, because sometimes our last episode, and I don't even mind admitting this, because we like to be comfortable on this show, so we can admit our last episode, it took us longer to set up than the actual episode.
yes, it did. And we use Zoom too, and that was an experience, because we don't use Zoom, we always use StreamYard. And no, we're not getting sponsored by StreamYard, but we could. And I would love it if we did. But Zoom was interesting because and it was timed, and they did a camera thing. I didn't really like the camera thing, and you'll see it. It's going to be posted probably by the end of this week. Or not this week, next week. But so yeah, stay tuned for that. It's the Turtle Van, so it's kind of neat.
Yeah, we're gonna have a part 2 to the Turtle Van later.
Definitely.
Well, we just do a straight gallery, because the episode we did was more of an unboxing, just because it's so big. It took us most of the episode just to get everything out of the box. It's that big. One more thing I wanted to show before we jump into the news, because it is a news episode. If I have it here. So remember last year I had come up with a concept for doing like a Loyal Leatherhead type character or something like that. I had done some characters. Okay. Well, I bought this new material, so I figured, hell, let me start, actually making the thing. So I'm starting to sculpt out the head for it. I don't know if I'm going to actually make the entire Loyal Leatherhead, but you can see there, he's got his tongue out and the eyes. It's starting to shape up. Yeah. I may do more stuff as far as sanding down, but since I'm a toy maker, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make it and see how it looks. Yeah, because sometimes 3D printing is great, but you don't get into it as much as you could with this material, material toy making, Yeah. 3D printing, you model it, it takes you whatever, and then you hit print, and that's basically it. Here, you're actually shaping out the pieces, and can you kind of tell what it's turning into, or
I can see it. I can see little, the alligator face. I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, loyal subjects, I'm telling you, we can do this. It could happen. It could be our exclusive figure.
It can be. Yeah.
But that being said, enough promoting myself. Or you know what? We should do that. That should be the theme of this year. We should promote ourselves and our side projects, all of your stuff and all of your video drops. We should really pump that in.
Well, I'll do that right now. My channel has totally changed. Actually, I love collecting toys. The toy reviews are great, but right now toys are kind of on the side project for me, because it's just kind of hard to come by unless you go for the older stuff that everybody knows about. So I'm kind of getting back into the retro video game side, doing some more live streaming of retro video games, collecting a few things. It's still a collecting channel, and my name has always been DTV, so toys and video games. So it goes along with it, but I really kind of bypassed the video games for the longest time. So I'm getting more into that side of the channel.
Yeah. I was going to ask you just this randomly. Have you ever seen King of the Hill?
Oh, yeah. Of course I have. I used to watch that religiously.
That's why I put the second header, I'm Awesomeville from Dawsonville, because it's a King of the Hill, joke or whatever. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that reboot. They filmed most of the voiceover stuff for the reboot of King of the Hill. I
Oh,
don't know if
nice.
it's dropping this year or next because animation can take what it takes. I'm not sure they're using the same studio.
Have you got a chance to see the Tales of the Turtles?
Yes, that's in the notes, but like,
Okay, well, we'll just wait then, because I have my own opinion on that show.
yeah,
So I actually watched the whole first season. I guess it's
yeah. See,
season.
it's literally the last one.
Okay, good. Let's start this.
It's
Let's
coming.
start this. Let's start this. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Welcome back to the news side of things.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So our first news topic is Joy Toy Shredder and the Foot Soldiers, because it's two variants of the Foot Soldier. They're out now. People are reviewing them, and they look good. They're really tiny though, but I'm not gonna. It's too small
yeah.
for me. And
Joy toys are something totally different than most people think. They are pretty tiny, but they have very high detail, and that makes things different.
you know what's funny? They have. I think they have like about the same articulation that the loyal subjects have as far as like points of articulation, but they do a way better job than loyal subjects as far as like bends and knees. And I mean, loyal subjects, they found their wheelhouse too. They do fit in the market now, which is a very crowded market. So
Oh yeah.
I mean, if they're turning a profit at Ross, because good for them. I mean, somehow these green turtles. I mean, if you're getting the profit, then you're moving forward.
I don't know if people actually, I don't know if they get the profit from Ross. I think what Ross does is buy the bulk out of the companies like Walmart, Target, Fred Meyers, or whatever.
Yeah.
Because theoretically, Walmart has already paid loyal subjects. Fred Meyers has already paid loyal subjects. So now they're getting a profit from Ross to buy their product to sell cheaper. But yeah, I see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
And I kind of the idea behind Ross, I think is wonderful because you got people that don't know what these Super 7 are now that there's ending up at Ross or these loyal subjects, and people are like, oh, a Ninja Turtle. Look at that. That's some awesome, paint job, better than blah 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 or whatever. But yeah, loyal subjects is fitting in very well now, and I see them all over the place.
Well, one of the things that kind of tells me that they're doing good at Ross is that they advertise that they're at Ross. And I've shown you off air, I've shown you some links and some pictures. Hey, look, they actually, on the official loyal subjects, they'll have like a little thing. Oh, you can buy them at Ross now, and you can buy them at DD's. So if you're advertising, even at a liquidator, you have to be making a profit. Because I've never seen another company do that,
Yeah, most likely, yes.
Most if your money stopped, like you're saying, because you're totally right. For most companies and most things, if you didn't sell something, you liquidate it to Ross, to DD, to Bird Eyes, whatever. The liquidators, you don't advertise it because you technically make it a fail or it just didn't work out. Nobody wants an Ultraman statue or whatever it is. But because they have a lot of that. Well.
Yeah. I have a funny story behind that, but I'm not going to get into it on air. It's going to take it too long.
Yeah, but getting back, because sometimes we can diverge a little. Getting back to the Joy Toy thing, the Shredder and the Foot Soldier. Have you seen any reviews on them? Because they look good. I mean,
I haven't seen actual reviews on them. I saw photos of them, and they do look fantastic. Like I said, Joy Toys are really detailed, and like you said, they have the same articulations as loyal subjects. It's a hit. I mean, I know people love these Joy Toys.
Yeah, I think the material is completely different though, because I think loyal subjects uses a more, I don't want to even say generic, but I think a more common plastic, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's a better term. It's a more common plastic than Joy Toy, because Joy Toy seems like it has more of a shine and more of a finish to it.
Yeah, they probably use a different filament than most people.
The POV or what, PVC, that type of
Yeah.
I think the way they make their figures has to be different. I mean, a lot of them, they borrow things from other influences, like the Shredder here, the Joy Toy Shredder. He looks a lot like the 2003 Shredder. You've seen him.
Yeah, I've seen
him.
He
looks a lot like the 2003 Shredder, and the two foot soldier variants, they look a lot like the current IDW foot soldier, the last Ronin foot
Yeah.
soldiers.
Oh,
The
that's yeah, yeah,
heads,
yeah.
that look, they're kind of borrowing from there. So there's that. Next news item: Super Seven Ninja Turtles Wave 11 is out now, and the full release, because some people start getting it. The full release should be within the next 2.5 weeks, but they are coming out. They are coming out. Some people got them like right at Christmas, like right before Christmas or Christmas Day,
Yeah.
whatever. But the that's the one with Rat King, Rapper Mike, Nomad
hmm
Leo, and the
I,
Battle for
I I've seen them, and they look. I like the Leonardo. It's funny because when you see Leonardo with that extra head, it looks like a Big Trouble in Little China, and I think that's really funny and awesome. But again, are they going to do that with the rest of the turtles? Probably not. And they could actually go off of a theme with that if you think about it. Big Trouble in Little China Ninja Turtle theme. Have
yeah,
each one a different character. And yeah, it's just an idea. And
yeah,
I know that one was a markup of someone's actual design. I was watching someone's interview, and they were interviewing the guy that made the design. He's the Super Seven guy, and he's like, "This is just something I wanted to design. It had nothing to do with the actual turtle line, and they actually let me make it." So
yeah. I did see
yeah,
one of those interviews, and he was talking
yeah,
that he has like three other turtles that are his style versions of turtles, because
yeah.
there should be a
I see,
Leo that goes with the other three, but these three have never been seen.
and I hate to say it, and it's a slope that I don't want to take, but that's the kind of turtle that I would like to get because I don't care to keep collecting over and over the same product.
Yeah,
So if I have a turtle that's only made by one person or a Super 7, that would be a limited edition turtle right there. Super 7 limited edition turtle, not all these other ones that are limited but never are limited. Uh, you know.
yeah. Uh, I know what you're talking about, the Nomad Leo, and he looks way too plain. Like he look. I get what they're going for. They're going for a plain look, but I think
Mhm.
what would help the figure a lot would be gloves. Like if he had at least gloves, because he already has like different sculpted feet with those like little, samurai.
Sandals.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
sandals, the wood sandal things, and the head and the paunch kind of thing. It kind of all works, but the hands really make it look so bland and generic. So if he at least had like black gloves or blue gloves or something, I think it would kind of work. And if they had
Yeah.
one more head, I think one more head would really help it, because that box looks pretty empty. I know we've beat a
It's
dead
always
horse with
empty.
that, with
Yeah,
the empty box, but it keeps coming up. Well,
it
it
does.
is it is what it is, a theme that they're doing. So
It's
there's
the
that.
new Ultimate Waves. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
So okay, before we keep going on this the news thing, I had a question for you.
Okay.
With the market the way it is, do you think Ultimates is gonna go away? And because he's talked about we're not doing pre-orders as much as we used to. Some lines are not selling. Some lines are being cut, like the Simpsons, the GI Joe thing. I think it's hanging by a thread. The Transformers
Mhm.
line is hanging by a thread, and it isn't selling. The Ninja Turtles thing, like, because their two strongest are Turtles and Thundercats.
Yeah.
But if you're packing so light, would the idea? What do you think? Do you think Ultimates is like a dying brand, and they're just gonna move into TX and call it a day?
I don't think Ultimate will ever die in Super Seven's catalog.
Yeah,
I think they're going to slow down a lot. I think it's going to take some kind of boom in the economy where people say, "Oh, I can spend $55 on this product."
yeah,
But right now, with the economy the way it is, with people's low income or whatever you want to call it, it's really hard for certain people to actually buy these $55 products knowing that A, you're gonna keep them in the box, B, you're gonna display them like I do, or three, hope to God you don't go broke by buying a $55 item instead of going to get gas for your car or food for your family. I don't think they're ever gonna die out, honestly, because that's a Super 7 gimmick. It's the gimmick of Super 7 Ultimate figures, 7-inch Ultimate figures. The new
yeah.
gimmick is the 7-inch nothingness deluxe figures. Um, but again, the deluxe is trying to get into the stores. That's what Brian says it's supposed to go into the stores, and I haven't seen them anywhere. I haven't seen any deluxe anywhere in Target or nothing. I was just there yesterday in the mall.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, I actually have because the Thundercats Deluxe, the Lionel and the Monkey, I've seen them everywhere here in my neck of the woods, and I'm doing a lot of traveling lately, so like I'm seeing them in different cities and different locations.
Yeah.
So
No, I like the deluxe line. I think it's great. I have the Power Ranger deluxe. I have one of the Power Rangers that have the deluxe line, and again, it's just a Super 7 Ultimate character, but cheaper to buy. Same
yeah,
plastic, same everything, and it's just you go with the one weapon and you got the character. Perfect. It's just like clicking an old fashioned toy.
yeah,
That used to be like $5, $10, just have you get something a little more better quality.
yeah.
So I mean, it's just I prefer the deluxe over the ultimates at the moment, honestly.
Well, I asked the question too because I've seen their deluxe version of Optimus Prime, and he comes in this giant box that looks like a VHS box, and they sell it at
That's
Macy's.
pretty cool.
I think I even like when we did one of the intros, I showed the Super 7. It's this big VHS looking box with the Transformer.
Yeah.
The thing that I was thinking about was you're trying to cut costs, but then you're making this giant box that looks like a VHS because I know you're trying to get the nostalgia thing going. But that has to be a custom box. That has to be a custom design. That's not even an Ultimates box, which is shaped like that. This is a brand new sculpt. Even in your cheapest plastic, you're still spending money, and then you're gonna say that it's $35. And they've done this already with the two other ones because they have on Amazon. They have Megatron in the VHS white box, and I think they have Soundwave also coming out in that VHS box.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that,
they're
that's
as
weird.
long as they keep
If you're cutting costs here, and
yeah.
then you
Well, as long as they're keeping the same budget on all of them, that's all that really matters. I mean, if they want to spend a few extra dollars on a custom box, let them spend a few extra dollars on a custom box for people. But again, like me, only reason I kept my boxes, honestly, is because if I decide to move or something, they're protected. But I actually have so many goddamn boxes now that I'm actually just thinking about throwing them away because it's just
yeah, you need
too
the
much.
space. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The next news item is the same way that I was talking about the Turtles, the Super 7 Turtles 11. There's a bootleg on eBay. Somebody's made some bootlegs of these, and they're selling them, but they're selling them by color. They're not calling it Rat King. They're calling it like red, brown, green, and blue. But they show the
Interesting.
picture of the character. So somebody's already like ripped these off. Because if they were the originals, they would just say Super 7 Rat King,
Oh yeah.
$60 or whatever it is they want to charge. So that's kind of interesting if somebody's already ripped them off, or they fell off a truck or whatever. But even falling off trucks, if it's a Sony PlayStation, you're gonna put Sony PlayStation,
Oh
unless
yeah.
it's a funny PlayStation. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Here's another news thing, and it's the Power Rangers animated show. That it's not a priority. I wanted to talk about this for a second too because there's been like so many rumors with Power Rangers, but like
Oh yeah.
currently the idea is that there is no hurry for making an animated show or anything animated right now for Power Rangers.
No.
Yeah, I mean I don't think Power Rangers really works animated because it ends up looking more Voltron, Zenjiger, those like mech suit. It ends up
Yeah.
being almost another Gundam. It loses kind of its effect. It stops kind of being Tokusatsu. It's
Well, I
for
actually
me. Yeah,
yeah, for you. Well, I think it'd be a great experience for like a mini series, not like a whole, 50 episodes or something, just like a mini series. Like This is Power Rangers
Yeah,
for younger generation. You know, as we all know, in this day and age, people have a short, span. The mindset goes, "Oh, we are watching 5-minute videos now.
yeah,
After that, we're done." It's not like you can sit there and watch an hour and a half, TV show, an hour TV show anymore. People's lives are different. Kids kids are like, "Oh, that was a really cool TV show. Let's go back to videos." Power Rangers as a cartoon in general, let's get back to the topic. I think it'd be interesting to see what they could do with it. If it's going to be kid friendly, if it's going to be adult friendly, is it going to be a mix like the old fashioned Ninja Turtles where the adults are laughing at jokes that the kids ain't getting, and then when the kids become adults and they watch the show, they're like, oh, that's what they were laughing about, you
yeah,
know. But yeah, I'm sure we're going to bring up the other thing here in a little bit, but
yeah.
I think it'd be okay. I don't think it's going to be the best. I think it would be more like Gundam or Voltron or some of the other ones.
It gets lost in the shuffle, basically.
Yeah.
The next news item: Playmates, Power Rangers slash Ninja Turtles. They're prepping for Toy Fair.
Mhm.
I've seen a couple of posts on this. So we were originally thinking we weren't going to see anything until fall, and best case would be Comic Con, which is usually June, July. But I think there's a Toy Fair this year in 2025 coming up a lot closer. So there's probably product hitting, at least product reveals coming in the next 2 months, I'd say, or so.
Yeah. Well, I'm really interested in the Power Endurance full course, but
That's good. That's good.
I'm also interested in the like the original sketch turtles, add-ons, and even um the reimagined turtles,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So the next news item is there's a there's another crossover coming, and I kind of just wanted to glance on this. There's a He-Man Transformers crossover list. There's an actual list of like 6, 7 figures that are coming. So we'll
And they're
see.
still going with that. Holy crap.
Yeah. There's the TJ Omega. He dropped the leak list yesterday, and I think like 2 days ago, Toy Habits they did an entire episode talking about some possibilities and some concepts and things like that. So that, that's coming. Next thing, this was kind of interesting because this has been confirmed by different reports now. So this is one thing I can actually put on that. Paramount and Hasbro have been in talks for months. This whole deal that seems to be jumping off Christmas Day wasn't really. I guess somebody just like started blabbing Christmas Day.
Yes.
That seems to be the idea.
I think
That
it started on X, actually, but yes.
Yeah, but as far as the drop, that was kind of because it was weird. Like, hey, you're gonna start negotiations Christmas Day, like, Merry Christmas. Let me buy Power Rangers, the brand.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. The next news item: the budget for the because the one thing that's pretty much confirmed and it's in line for production is the new movie. So the budget for the new Power Ranger movie, MMPR, whatever you want to call it, the new Power Ranger movie project is between 100 and 150 million.
Yeah. Well, we all know what that's about.
Well, that's why I wanted to just put that out because I've seen some people reporting that it's 100. I've seen another few reports that it's a 150. So I'm figuring cut the differences between 1 and 150. You
Yeah.
think that's enough? That's too much? What do you think about that?
I think for having a movie that no one knows that's gonna be a hit or a flop, or if it's a movie to reboot the system, reboot the series. I think it's good enough. It's because they're probably gonna be spending more on CGI than the actual actors. I mean, because today's CGI. I mean, look at Ninja Turtles. All they gotta do is have the actors, just be themselves in the non costumes, and then put little, CGI stuff on them as they're Power Rangers, so they can move around and fight, and just CGI the costume on instead of having a heavy costume or whatever, where people can't move, like the 1995 movie. I think, yeah, I don't think it's going to cost as much as most people would think it would cost.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that budget is just going back to Hasbro, honestly.
Yeah. One within this news topic, one of the ideas has been like hire some of the cast of Cobra Kai to like filter
Yes.
to the movie. I don't know. I'm not a Cobra Kai. You're a Cobra Kai guy.
I'm a Cobra Kai fan.
Okay, so
Yes.
would that work? Were these actors too old, or are they about right, or what do you see?
At the time when they were talking about this originally,
Yeah.
actually the way they look like they should be teenagers still. I know none of them are teenagers, but what actor is a teenager when they play teenagers? Um, but yeah, you got a whole cast of teenagers with attitude, really. And they all know martial arts. They've actually been, they practice it. You see it on the TV. They don't know. I think some of them know actual martial arts, and some of them are just acting martial arts. If that makes sense. But they would do perfectly fine as a character, especially like Robbie and I'm losing people's names. It's later there too. But yeah, it's they would be perfect. I have no problem seeing them as Power Rangers.
Speaking of the Power Ranger movie, there's one character that's already been teased as being voiced. So you know the guy from Key and Peele, the bald,
Yes.
yeah, I think his name is Keegan Peele. Is the tall one. He
Yeah.
has been like I've seen it from a couple of places, but I haven't seen it from anything official that he might be doing Alpha 5. So I think you hit the mute.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Alpha 5. Okay.
Yeah, if it works out, it works out. Bill Hader did a decent job with
Yeah.
17, but before we go on, because we still have some news here, I wanted to ask you this question because I haven't seen anybody actually ask it. You hit it again. Yeah. Okay, we're on track for this new movie and whatever. But do you think now's the right time, or do you think there was a better time to do a Power Ranger reboot movie? Because we're doing Mighty Morphin. You know that for sure. So, do you think
Yeah.
now is a good time, or was there a better time in Power Ranger history where you could have had a bigger impact?
I think it would have had a bigger impact, and it wouldn't have been MMPR. It would have been Dino Fury. You know, I think the movie should have landed somewhere before the ending of the series. I think that would have been better. I'll even have a teaser for the movie, like somewhere before Once and Always came out. Like, hey, we got a reboot in the system because everybody knew this show was ending. So, like, before Once and Always came on, it should have been like, we got a reboot and had like a little preview of something, even if it didn't even come out and it was just a main thought, get people excited. 2025 or 2026, or because now people are like, oh, it's a movie coming out. Is it really coming out?
Yeah.
I mean, even in my mind, I go, cool, they're making a movie, but are they really making it, or is this just talk?
Yeah. I was thinking about this question too, just because I think it's a very provocative question about when would have been a bigger impact for the movie, because this is going to be a major motion picture. It's going to have a toy line. It's going to have a lot of advertisement. It's going to have a big push because a lot of that 100 million, 150 has to go into advertising. So, like me personally, I think the right time to have done this, because I don't think 2017 was a great time, like as far as calendar, what the environment was, whatever. I don't think that would have been the best move. I mean, it's done, so it is what it is. But me personally, if I would have like, okay, we're doing a brand new Power Ranger movie, we're gonna do this, we're gonna put big budget, we're gonna do this, we're gonna throw the checkbook at it, right, and we're gonna make it as big an impact as possible. I would have done it right when Disney bought it. I think 2003, 2004 would have been a way better and a way bigger impact too, because remember the resurgence that happened with Ninja Storm. Ninja Storm brought back a lot of fans
Oh yeah.
because people got real, like people started leaving after In Space, because I mean In Space was such a beloved series, but after
Oh,
In
it's
Space,
great. It's a great series.
people started leaving and there was a decline. It just is what it is. You can look at the numbers. In
Yeah.
Space was here, and then Lost Galaxy was here, and then Time Force was here, and then Wild Force was like you kept getting diminished returns. People,
Oh, because
people
okay,
stopped caring, you know.
again, not only did they stop caring, but they also grew up. You know,
Yeah,
I'm not saying
that's
they grew
true.
out, they grew
It's a
up, but they saw
it's a
other
different
things. You know,
generation
eh,
of people. Yeah,
yeah, you
it's
got
good.
like NYPD Blue came on. I think around that same time, and like my age, even though I watched a few episodes of In Space, and then I quit watching it because I found other shows that I liked better. More adult like because I was just at that age. And then later on in life, we came back, and I've talked about this several times. I watched every Power Rangers series ever made because I was curious about it.
Yeah,
Um, and that happens to a lot of people. Like people watch all sorts of shows and go, "Hey, I remember this show. I'm wondering what the other ones were like after I stopped watching it." And yeah, I think you're right. I think during the Disney years, it probably would have been a better time.
I think the perfect year, honestly, would have been 2004, 2005. Would have been like that. That year should have been the year, because what happened in 2004, 2005, we had come off the success of Ninja Storm, because Ninja Storm
Yeah.
was popular. It made money. It reestablished the franchise. Okay, maybe it wasn't the biggest hit in the world, but it did put us on level ground again, which is good. I think it would have been good to release it that year, because that was the year we got Jason David Frank back. We got a really good cast with Dino Thunder. So if you would have done that, and because come on, theatrically speaking, the return of Jason David Frank to the big screen as the leader of the Power Rangers, leading a new team of
Oh,
Rangers,
oh
all
yeah.
of that
I
stuff
mean,
sounds like a movie,
uh,
right?
honestly, we took like the first few episodes of that and made it into a movie where David Jason Frank disappeared, and they did the whole saga of the Power Rangers all the way up to then just as a movie instead of being those splits episodes.
Yeah,
It made it more outrageous looking and stuff. That would have been an awesome movie. The history of the
especially,
Power Rangers, the
yeah,
movie or whatever, and making it. You know what I'm saying? I would that would have sold. Oh, all the fans from the early years, Jason David Frank and blah blah blah. Cameo by people would just flock to the theater for that back then.
yeah, yeah, and another thing that would have worked there too would be, since since Jason David Frank had that permission to go back to his family and whatever, because he was gone for a good chunk of Dino Thunder. I think that could have been a good break in the seasons. So we could have had Dino Thunder cut into 2 seasons, and then in between we could have done the movie. We could have made it a
Yeah.
TV movie, keep the budget tight like they did with Turbo, because that was one of the things that people touted about Turbo, the Turbo movie. That whether you like it or not, the budget was pretty tight. You didn't lose too much money. The toys were okay, so it was a moderate success. Turbo wasn't a huge success, but it was moderate
No.
success. And people can cry all they want about the Blue Ranger thing. As far as a brand as a whole, it did all right. It did all right. It wasn't
Yeah.
this was a game changer, but I think that would have been good. That that would have been good too, because that was when Disney really was hyped on having Power Rangers. They had them at their parades. They had them at the Disney parks. They had exclusive figures. They were still working with Bandai. So
Saban.
think,
Oh,
yeah,
Bandai.
yeah, with
Yeah.
Bandai. So 'cause they had exclusive Power Rangers to the Disney store. They were just repaints, but still, the effort was there. That was hot. So I think there would have been a really good time to, you know, penetrate the market. I don't know, because now the big fear is, where do you put this movie? You're not going. We talked about this a little, last episode. Like, where are you gonna put it? You're gonna put it against Robert Downey Jr. and Avengers 6 or whatever. That's not gonna work. What are you gonna do? Fight
No.
Sonic 4 or Ghostbusters 6 or whatever it is? Like the
You know,
calendar is pretty packed up.
they're just gonna have to throw it in there somewhere. They're gonna have to take a risk and go. Are the fans gonna come watch it or not? Or are we gonna have a flop straight to streaming service? I mean, I don't know. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of movies now that get thrown into theaters
Yeah,
that just go in and come out in a month because people went and saw them and no one else did. And
yeah.
yeah,
Well, all the big budget stuff's coming in the next year and a half, so that's one of the reasons that there's issues with it. And just recently, like 3 days ago, one of the biggest movies coming out has been pushed into 2026, which is Batman 2. Power Rangers is not gonna make it again against Batman 2.
Power Rangers
That's
ain't
a
gonna
no
make it
no.
in.
That's a
I hate to
that
say
ain't
this,
gonna
but it
fly,
doesn't
bro. Come on.
it doesn't matter what goes in theaters because
I know, but
here
if they
here's
go
the here
completely, if they
I
go
know, but
direct
honestly
competition,
though,
direct
but
competition.
honestly, Power Rangers are gonna fall in a niche because they're trying to bring back the fan base. And the problem is now that fan base is dying out because they're getting irritated that there's nothing coming along. And when something new comes along, they're gonna be like excited for it and hope to God this movie passes the excitement because if it doesn't, what are we gonna do? We're gonna just be like, okay, that was okay, I guess. I mean, thanks Hasbro, thanks Paramount. Ugh,
I'm
yeah,
actually happy that they're pushing the movie back. Personally, I thought like just for a second, and then we'll get right back into the news. But I thought the Batman, the Robert Pattinson one, I thought it was long and boring. If you're, I'll probably see part two just because I'm a Batman fan. Period. But I thought that whole the Riddler and the Penguin and Colin Firth, I did not like that at all. So I like the idea of them holding back the movie because that just makes you get a tighter script. Maybe the story doesn't seem so slow paced. Because you
okay.
gotta admit, the
So
Batman, whether you
uh,
like it or not, that one was pretty slow paced, bro. Like
So I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and I finally watched Spider-Man: Far From Home. Now, you want to talk about something really
that's
cool?
the one with
As they
the three Spider,
that's
right?
Tobey Maguire and the other
Okay,
two.
okay, okay.
Now, here's the
That's
cool
another
part.
one coming, Spider-Man 4.
But here's the cool part
Power
about
Rangers
this
can't catch a
though,
break.
is that they brought back Doc Ock. They brought back the Green Goblin or the
Yeah, everybody
Green
basically.
Goblin, and they're the original actors that played these characters, and they nailed it to a T. And it's just like and then they brought back some of the other characters from the other series, from like the Amazing Spider-Man and stuff like this. And they nailed it. And it was just like, holy crap. It's like that's what they need to do with Batman, is have all this multiverse characters come into play. And I understand Batman's kind of a weird situation, but even Spider-Man, like when he said, well, where did you come from? Oh, I come from a different universe. He freaked out a little bit, like I don't understand what's going on. And he's a genius. Even in this movie, he's a genius. And when he meets all the other Spider-Mans, they all do things differently.
Yeah,
Like the way they do the rebbing and stuff. They're all different Spider-Mans, and it's kind of neat. But yeah,
I
Spider-Man
do
4 is
agree
coming
with
out
them.
soon, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, isn't that the rumor that Spider-Man 4 is gonna be very Toby heavy? Like Toby's gonna be
it's supposed
a lot more in the movie in Spider-Man
it's
4.
supposed to be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. So he's like all grown up. He's an adult. He's married to Mary Jane, has a kid or something like that. That's kind of what I've been understanding here.
Yeah,
Um, but even Far From Home, he goes, my back hurts. And I'm like, oh God, he is old. He had to get his
yeah,
back
but
cracked
that's
by one of the other Spider-Mans. This is
ev-
like, okay.
yeah. Every older character has to have that line. Even Lethal Weapon did that. That like, oh, I'm getting too old for this. And that was in Lethal Weapon 1. They did like 4 more movies. So he
Yeah.
really wasn't
But
that
even
old, bro.
even in the movie though, he gets the other Spider-Man to crack his back. And it's like, wow, that's funny. You know. But
No,
yeah, anyways.
I see where you're going, but I don't. I like it too. I totally agree with you. I think it'd be really great if you did an actual Batman multiverse movie where, okay, the hell with it. we got a new guy playing the Flash, and the Flash ran through time or ran through a time warp or something and opened up these dimensions. Because that was kind
Something.
of what the Flash was starting to do before this guy like kept
Yeah, that's
ruining.
why that's why you
Because
saw Michael Keaton as Batman. I mean that's that.
yeah,
That was made it awesome.
yeah, but behind the scenes, honestly, I think the big thing is your boy there, James Gunn. He's developing this new universe, and he does not really like Tim Burton. I mean, maybe he likes him as a
So,
guy, but maybe not as a director. And he's not going to share because he's the Guardians of the Galaxy guy, and Tim Burton's going to come in and, oh no, I want Keaton back, and I want Danny DeVito to be Penguin one more time, or I could figure something out. He can do it too. I could see. Yeah,
Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman.
bro, I see Tim Burton pick up that phone and he starts getting some heavy hitters and
I mean,
I'm
if you,
scared, bro.
I'm not even, gonna lie. If you can get Michael Keaton as Batman, Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer, Joker as Jim Carrey, and then the Penguin as Danny DeVito, I would go see that
That's a
movie.
lot of egos too, bro. Honestly, that's a lot
Oh,
of
egos,
that's
but
ego
that ego,
city.
that would make
You
a
get Jack
perfect
Nicholson
movie.
back? What?
No, he won't come back. He won't come back. He will never play that role again. He has actually said that he'll never play Joker again because it messed with his
He's
mind
full
too
of it.
much.
He's most of his look. I love Jack Nicholson, but real talk, one of his riches is his royalties from Batman '89.
Oh
He's even
yeah,
said this. Like this was the role of a lifetime. He was already big, but he gets money today because right now you buy a Batman '89 Blu-ray or whatever. What does it say? It says Nicholson and then Keaton. The star of that movie
yeah.
is Jack Nicholson, even if it isn't a Batman movie. So and he got points on the movie. He got royalties. So I think it would have to be the right price. Like I said, if Tim Burton gets on that phone, Tim Burton says, "Hey, look, we got Keaton, we're bringing the whole gang together," and you figure out Joel Schumacher to like he can do something. You get him in the mix to kind of because if you're gonna do a Batman, open timeline type multiverse thing, you would have to get even for the aesthetics of it, but that could be a whole thing, and that could be a completely different show. And we got to get back to this news because we can talk Batman
Between Spider-Man and Batman, we can talk forever.
Telling you, Power Rangers, they're not gonna catch a break. Oh my god, can you imagine? They do like a Ghostbusters and Thundercats movie right next to the Power Ranger movie.
No, let's not do that. No, because Thundercats would be.
Ghostbusters ran out of material anyways, so they gotta do something.
I'm gonna go. No, you know what? We're gonna bypass that comment. I was just gonna make. Go ahead.
Let's move on here. The next news item, comicbook.com, which is one of the biggest comic book, basically like social media things. Very official, very like IMDb, very like new cinema. Really, a really big force in the game. They've done an official announcement about the idea of the Power Ranger reboot movie coming. So now we know that's coming. Yeah, it's officially mainstream media that's covering this. It's not just a couple of rumors or this or that. So that I think that's a good thing. So it's official. The next thing is I've been hearing this, and this is actually interesting because we had like talked about this like just for like a minute, but it wasn't sure. But now I'm hearing multiple reports that Playmates is doing a collector line for Power Rangers.
It's possible. I mean, they have
So
collector lines.
because we talked like there's a chance that the license they have a license to the entire catalog of Power Rangers, not just Mighty Morphin. So
Yeah.
only advice I got: whatever team you start, finish the team. Finish the team.
Yeah.
If you do Turbo, give me all 7 Turbo Rangers and Divatox. Don't give me one and here's a Lightspeed Blue. Don't do that.
No, I want them to focus because like most people that do these collections, these high-end collectibles, they fuck up. Sorry, because they go off on a tangent. You know, they start a line and it seems like it's going beautifully, and all of a sudden they go to another line. It's like, don't do that. Give us everybody from Turbo, all the bad guys, all the good guys, everybody from space, Lost Galaxy, whatever. Stop going. Well, we're gonna give you half of it. I'm gonna miss 2 characters, or you know, we're gonna give you all but 2 characters, and we're gonna move on and never give those 2 characters to you. I just have to graduate Super 7. I'm sorry. Anyways,
Yeah, no, yeah. I know you're with the whole Squad Babu and Not a Wall and
Scorpina. Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know. The moving on, the Mondo. I've been seeing some. I'm sure you've seen some of these teasers for their. It's gonna be coming soon at one of the toy shows. Their 1/6 scale turtles, Mondo's version of turtles, not their
Oh,
Subfury. This is a completely
oh yeah,
different.
yeah. No. I saw on the last Comic Con they had. I think it was in New York. They showed pictures of it. I think it was
Yeah, what
a
does it look like? The
I
Michael
think it was
Bay?
a Donatello. I think it was a Donatello, and it's like so outrageous. I mean, it had like everything from like the 1988 turtles to like today's turtles. Like there's stuff on that turtle from every era. So you think of it, the glasses are removable. They had like everything, like Michael Bay stuff on there too. It was crazy looking, but I understand it.
Yeah,
I understand the concept.
yeah.
Yeah.
The next news item. There's a lot of bad fan backlash over the reboot thing and the $100 million, 150. There's a lot of like fans and a lot of you know YouTubers and stuff like that. Oh my God, this is the worst idea in the world to spend $150 million. Like it's not gonna work. It's not. A lot of boos are being said right now for the so
Yeah, I just,
ugly. Give it a chance,
you
man.
know,
I don't know what this is. At least I know it's official. At least
you know what? Honestly, as a YouTuber this year alone, I'm
you've
trying to
seen
be
this
more
people.
positive. I'm trying to be more positive overall. Uh, I'm gonna put myself in to the point where I had a comment today, and I realized people are not watching the full videos. Probably most YouTubers. So people make these comments, and you realize that I had to actually go watch my video, and I usually don't do that. But I've been so busy lately. I had to go watch it, and I'm like, I wasn't being negative. You took that the wrong way, and I had to explain to the guy over a comment. So again, the Power Ranger thing to me is I can understand people thinking there's too much money because it's a reboot that no one knows if it's going to pass or not. And it's not even a reboot; it's just a one-off movie.
Yeah,
So
hopefully they make enough
even if
money
it does,
to
even if it
buy.
doesn't make enough money, they can go, well, okay, so movie shouldn't have been our objective. It should have been a TV show, a little TV show. But I understand they want to go big or go home. That's the concept. Go big or go home. Remember that old saying? Um,
Yeah,
but again, I don't have any problem with the idea. I'm glad that they're making a movie. I could, you know, I could even care less if it was straight to video. I mean, I am old, but you know, or straight to
yeah.
streaming in this case, because
Because
DVDs are dying.
yeah, 'cause there's a lot of criticism now for Once and Always. Like, oh, you couldn't get the entire team, so what makes you think a brand new team of you know? Because Once and Always, I like Once and Always, but
Oh, I love that show.
now people are start. I think one of the things is people are getting sort of a bad taste for Once and Always because that was kind of the end of Power Rangers. Because a lot of people didn't see the Cosmic Fury. People saw the Once and Always and figured, okay, Trini's gone, Jason David Frank's gone. Okay, that's the end of it. Billy's the pseudo leader, and the new girl Charlie is the Yellow Ranger. And then I think
Yeah.
most people are kind of like with headcanon, kind of like, okay, yeah, we're done with that. And so, but
Well, you know,
they make a point.
honestly,
That would have been a much bigger thing if you would have gotten the entire team back.
yeah, but
You could have
at
gotten
that
him. You
point,
could have
you
gotten, Austin St. John. No matter what people feel about him, he's still
Austin St. John probably would have came back. I don't know the reasons why exactly. I mean, I kind of do, but I don't. I don't want to get into that.
well with
But
Austin.
yeah,
No,
But
we're just talking about the character. We're not talking about the actor. As far as like, because people still want Jason to come back as the Red Ranger. Come,
oh
let's
yeah,
not lie about that either. Let's not BS and BS. You know, hell,
no,
people were happy about Keaton coming back as Batman because most people see Michael Keaton as Batman. Most people see Tobey Maguire as the Spider Man. We're happy to see these things. That's why
yeah.
people show up at the movie theaters. So, but since
But
almost
honestly, I think if this is my last thing I'm going to say about the movie, take it as a grain of salt. They're trying something for their fans. They're not going to get the original actors. Now they might be able to get them as a cameo, like they did in the 2017 movie. But overall, they're not going to get these actors to come back and play the Rangers on a big screen. They're not going to be able to be paid enough as well,
yeah,
because those actors are going to be wanting a lot of money to be back in those costumes or in a new costume.
yeah.
Um, so just be happy that it's coming. Be happy that something's happening with the Power Ranger line that's not
I mean, it's not my
the
money.
typical,
Let's be real.
you know.
It's not your money
Well, no,
either.
it's not all money, but still,
If it wasn't,
it's all it's the fandom is
if
what
you
people are
take
getting upset
150 from
about.
your wallet, like,
If I had it, I wouldn't be giving it away to anybody.
yeah, that's true. But yeah, okay. The next news item here is Legend of the White Dragon is radio
Oh.
silent, and now a lot of like fans are like starting to troll on it. I'm not gonna get so deep into it, but I did want to kind of just mention that. You know,
You know what? You know what? I'm just gonna say it. I have totally stopped thinking about that, and
people are starting. Oh, what
yeah,
do you want me to do? Legend of the White Dragon? You? No, like radio silent, being ghosted.
I am done with that movie until I see it on streaming, because I don't think, and we talked about this before, I don't think it's ever coming out. I think it's gonna be something that he's gonna keep to his own self, and he has pissed off a lot of fans because I know a lot of fans have backed that movie.
Yeah. You know, I'll say this as a constructive thing, okay? Sort of as a make good to kind of let's put a period to this whole thing. I think Hasbro should. I mean, Hasbro doesn't want to really do Power Rangers, but if somehow something changes, I think the good thing to do would be honestly, and some people can get hot or think of it as a hot taker, but it's not. It's just constructive criticism. I think Hasbro should just, or whoever is the new owner of Power Rangers should just buy the movie.
It would
The
be
Batman Son guy, yeah, whatever footage you have, whatever you've done, let's just and you know incorporate it into Power Rangers. You have footage of a modern day Jason David Frank in Legend of the White Dragon. Let's be real. It's what dragon is it? It's the Green Ranger dragon because we know him as Dragon Zord and the Green Ranger. You can you the costume looks close enough to the other Power Rangers that you can kind of wiggle him into the Power Rangers canon timeline anyway. Let's quit with the BS, man. If you cut out the Legend of the White Dragon guy, the that plays the bad guy there, I think it is the owner of the company. If you just cut him out or you bring him in or to do some pickup shots, you can make up a like, oh, this is the residual energy from the Green Ranger coin that created this White Ranger variant, and you use that.
I guess
Make them a
I
morpher, make
I
them.
have yeah, I have a whole lot of ideas that they can go with that,
No, but
but
I'm just saying, like you bring it into the Power Ranger canon. I think it would work because even the toy makers, Valiverse, when you saw, we talked about this a little last year. Valiverse made an action figure, right? They look like Lightning Collection figures anyway because they
yeah,
know that people are going to grab those figures and put them right next to other ones anyway. You're almost there anyways.
yeah.
So
Well, let me piss off a lot of fans today. You know, you could take that. You could take that Legend of
this
the
is
Right Dragon
constructive
character.
criticism. We're just
Yeah, yeah. This is
trying to be
criticism, but this
constructive.
might piss people off. We could take that Legend of the Right Dragon character and have a middle story behind the White Ranger and the Green Ranger power becoming the Legend of the White Ranger, and somehow he becomes very demonic and evil and becomes Lord Draken. something. It would
There
still
you
be
go.
canon at that
The
point.
powers are corrupted, and it turns into a variant of the costume. Yeah,
Exactly.
there you go. And I've even seen you've probably seen stuff like this. People have already made a Legend of the White Dragon coin anyways for the Morpher
Oh yeah.
because you're big into
I've
like the coins. Just get it. And another good reason to actually just bring it into canon. I mean, just he want. I'm pretty sure JDF wanted to keep going with Power Rangers. Anyways, he's always been like such a nice guy to everybody at the Comic Con circuits, and he's always been very pro Power Rangers. He is the face of the brand. Let's be real. He is the he is the guy for Power
he is
Rangers.
the guy.
So
My
I think,
understanding
bro,
with
you can make a morph
Jason.
for him, and let's call it a day,
Yeah.
bro. Let's bring him in. Paramount do it, or maybe Netflix throws their hat in the ring because I don't see Hasbro keeping Power Rangers for much longer.
Okay, so
right.
I'm just gonna be very
Just,
Hasbro is only keeping
bring
the
him in.
IP. Hasbro's just gonna keep the IP. That's all they want. They're an IP company. That's all they care about is their IP. So they make money outside of everybody else. So Paramount is gonna own the rights to Power Rangers, the filming rights. Playmates is gonna own the rights to the toys, and they're all gonna be making money for Hasbro in the long run. So
yeah, you want to know something that's gonna kind of blow your mind? You know who's in this movie too? Jason Font, the Time Force Red Ranger.
yeah,
Right?
I know who it is.
You call that guy back. You get him to do a couple of pickup shots. It's just a variant of Time Force. This already kind of fits in the timeline, anyways.
Yeah.
So
I think there's one. I think there's one other ranger in there
how
too.
much that guy is beloved by the fandom. So just bring it
Yeah.
in, bro. Let's just bring it in. That doesn't work by itself. He wanted it to be part of Power Rangers anyways, so just bring it into Power Rangers anyways. He-Man has done this stuff with their Sunman. Sunman was an offshoot, whatever, that was made for a different demographic. But the Mattel was like, you know what, here, bro, here, cut the check, bring him in, and he fits along. I don't know if people like it or dislike it, but he does fit into the world of Masters of the Universe. We've had stuff like this before. Deadpool isn't really from Marvel. He was created by multiple people, and McFarlane was a part of that. Venom was another character that wasn't part of the original canon, but he is. Every time you think of
He's
Spider-Man,
canon now.
Venom, right? Every time you think of Spider-Man, you think of Venom, and he is part of the Marvel universe of Spider-Man or whatever. So let's just bring him in, bro. That's enough. You do a couple pickup shots, make him a morpher. It looks close enough to the suits, anyways.
Well, he might already have a morpher. That's the thing. We don't get to see any of this, but he might already have one from the movie. He might have something that's kind of similar to what he used on the TV show.
I think it would be a huge make good for whoever comes in, and it would really help the fan base. Like, okay, this guy or this property or this company actually cares about it because they brought in the project that was already done, and it has modern footage of JDF. You with that the Legend of the White Dragon, you could cut those little whatever you have filmed. You can splice it in to another season of Power Rangers, or you can make that a special. You can figure out a way to put that in to work, but you have to start doing that now, and you make that the goodbye to Jason David Frank, because we need to do one. Let's be real. We once and always was the goodbye to Thuy Trang. So we got to do a goodbye to JDF. He is the guy of the franchise. So I think that would be a make good, make everybody happy. I don't see Bad in the Sun finishing this project.
It's finished. I can tell you right now, it's probably finished. They're just not releasing it. There's no reason why it wouldn't be finished. I think the guy's just being an ass and not releasing it because he doesn't want to. He just wants that.
Look, this
move.
His daughter's in it. Jason Frank's daughter's in it. Jenna Frank is in it. So I think bringing it in and just buying it out, you figure out a way to you can bring her in too if you want to be real, because she's become so much part of the fandom or whatever you want for Power Rangers. You've been knocking at the door. All right, let her in then. Let her in then. If
Yeah.
somebody cares that much, you should give them the chance to prove themselves. This girl, she's been around Power Rangers all her life, so she knows Power Rangers. She did this movie, so she's technically part of this canon. She's been with her dad. She knows Power Rangers. It's not like she doesn't
She also
remember.
knows martial arts too, so she's
Yeah, she
perfect.
knows martial arts. I'm pretty sure she has a Green Ranger candle. Bro, you can fix this real easy. If you wanted to do Once and Always Part 2, you have a split in the timeline. Like, you make her JJ. I know we said JJ was a boy, but you know what? Let's just make her JJ and make it. Oh, there was a problem with Time Force, and I don't know. Somebody scratched their nose and it turned the boy into the girl, and that's why JJ is a girl, and that's it. You get to
Yeah.
honor. You get to make a lot of people happy. You get to make her
Yeah.
happy. You make your fans happy. You make the Bad and the Sun fans happy because they finally see an end to the project. It really makes everybody happy, and it helps, put a period to the legacy that is, But that's just me spitballing. I think it would make everybody happy. Just incorporate Legends of the Dragon. Bring in the
I
dog.
yeah, I agree 100%.
And I think she'd be good to start working. Like if you do anything moving forward for an adult fan base for Power Rangers, I think her, the Jenna Frank actress, her coming in and playing like the second lead to Charlie Kirsch, if they bring her back, I think that would work too. I like because they're a lot closer in age than
You know
Charlie,
what?
and I think that
I,
works best.
I gotta say, what's funny is we talk about
A
this, but
female
instead of
Green
making her
Ranger,
J,
she takes up her dad's coin. Come on, bro, this thing writes
but
itself.
we can also do it this way too. Instead of making her JJ, we can make her Kimberly's daughter and Jason David Frank's daughter. I forget what her name is, but it's from the comic book, and she literally in the comic book does pick up her dad's morpher and morphs into the Green Ranger. I
Yeah,
mean, there you go.
her.
It's right there. I mean, it's anything's possible, you know.
You could come up with another look. There's a million ways you could put her in there. You could be she's Tommy's goddaughter. Fine,
Something, yeah.
yeah. Tommy saved somebody as a Power Ranger, and the person they saved had a daughter, and that's the Jenna. That's your storyline. Okay, so she's the goddaughter of JDF or the Green Ranger, and she picks up the coin because somebody has to turn into the Green Ranger. Let's be real. So
Yeah.
I think that would really help everybody and smooth out everything and just make people happy. I'm a series creator and I created Mascot of Fighters. If I have something that's a hangnail like this, I wouldn't want my fans to be pissed and like, oh man, it's so divided and whatever. This is a simple buy. How much can that footage possibly be worth, anyways? It ain't gonna be no $100 million. I can tell you right now.
No, I've seen Bad in the Sun stuff, and I think it's fantastic what they do.
Yeah, for what they do.
But again, it's they're missing the point here with the Legend of the White Dragon. They've already messed up the timeline for release dates. They made their fans
Multiple.
probably stop thinking about it. They need to move on. They need to release it, give it to somebody like you said, because they're not doing nothing with it. It's sitting in a vault somewhere
Yeah,
and doing
it's
nothing.
on the guy's hard drive for some reason, and like you're not doing anything with that footage. You're not gonna.
No.
I think the next owner or the next big wig for Power Rangers should just incorporate it and add that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it'd be good to use Bad in the Sun because I think they have some other footage of JDF. So if you want to make a JDF movie, you can figure out some alternate cuts, alternate angles, some footage to kind of splice this together and give them a proper goodbye. Because we need to.
Yeah. We
That
need
has to
to,
be
yeah.
addressed. Period. You have to get JDF his flowers, and you have to send them off right. So that's just a little, this and that. But let's get back to the news because we've been diverging a little bit here today. Turtles of Grayskull, the Snake line 2, that some retailers are already pulling the plug because the Thundercats He-Man thing is coming. So that's pretty much the end of it. The Snake series, whatever, the Snake Armor series for the Turtles of Grayskull. That seems to be the idea. That's the end of it. The next news item, we talked about this actually off air, but like now it's been enough time that we could talk about it. Is there was no Super Seven Turtles reveal for winter 2024. They usually drop in around Thanksgiving or Christmas or yeah, we're well into January.
Yeah, we talked about that, but we also talked about how really they have really no plans for anything really for the Ultimate lines. I mean, I have I check out their site. I'm on their X, I'm on their Instagram stuff, and they're not promoting much. Godzilla,
The Mummy Boy. Oh man,
the people on the trikes, the peanuts, and
yeah.
they're not doing much with the Ultimates, lines. I think the last Ultimate I saw was Godzilla, and that was it. And
Yeah,
that was at the end of the year.
yeah,
Last,
yeah. I know what you're talking about. The one with the blue fins on it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but it was just weird. Like I'm accustomed to seeing them drop something around this time, and they just did. I don't know if you saw it. The reps for the company, Brian and Kyle, and some of these other like the big wigs, the Super Seven, they've been doing the rounds, and they've only been talking about Wave 11. And then the Wave 12, with the 2003 Turtles are coming. And, like, okay,
Yeah. They don't talk about much
yeah, but it's
at
a lot.
all.
Like you're saying, it's a lot of nothing. I saw an entire one, and I usually send you the links, or you send me the links when there's like something interesting to see. But I didn't even send you a link because I was like, bro, I wasted an hour of watching this show. I'm not going to send you an hour of waste. They didn't
Yeah,
say that.
I
They
watched
said
that
that they
same
didn't
one,
say
I
nothing.
think.
Yeah.
I think I watched the same one, yeah, because there was nothing. There was, yeah. For the first Friday I watched, and there was like just, anyways, let's
Yeah.
move on.
Super 7, going back to them, the Power Rangers, Trini and King Sphinx, they're at Ross and Dee Dee's. I've been seeing
And so
them.
is the Putty Patroller too.
I haven't
I've
seen
seen a lot of people post it, and they keep adding more Wave 1, Wave 2 to
I've
Ross,
only
and I
seen
just,
Trini and King Sphinx here.
yeah. Well, there was
But
people on Facebook that's posting Putty Patrollers, and
I
I think
might
I
just
seen someone actually do the
20
Green
bucks.
Ranger one. Yeah, it kind of pisses me off, but at least I know when I had an issue that can be replaced. You go to Ross and you have an issue, well, you're stuck with it. You can't do much with it,
Yeah,
You
liquidated.
can't go complain to Super 7 because,
They can't send it
you
back
know,
anyway. Stay in their
exactly. That's my point. Like when I bought my Kimberly, my Pink Ranger, and it had an arm issue, literally it had an arm issue, I can get it replaced. But when you go to Ross, if you have a Putty Patroller that has an arm that falls off, you're stuck with it.
just having it
You
on
know?
falls off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Super 7, their Ultimates Transformers, more of the Transformers line is at Ross now. So I've seen Megatron, I've seen Blur, I've seen Grimlock, I've seen Optimus Prime. I don't think that the Ultimates Transformers line is gonna make it. That I didn't think it
I
was gonna
only
make it before, but now I think it's done. I think it's
I
cooked.
forgot all about that line until I started seeing people post again on Facebook about these Ultimates at Ross and Dee Dee's, and it was like, huh, okay, Transformers. I forgot about them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
You want to
reaction
talk about
there too.
yeah? You want to talk about Transformers? You tell me about Hasbro, and I'll tell you all day about Transformers. But when it came to Super 7, yeah, I didn't remember.
Speaking of Ross, Ross has the IDW Turtles, but with comics. So
Comics.
yeah, okay, so it's the comic packs. So it's
Okay.
like the turtle with a comic featuring the character. So
Oh,
it's
okay, okay,
The
okay.
Donatello comic with the Donatello figure.
I got you.
Yeah,
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 that's pretty cool. I like those ones. I really like.
yeah. They got
I
those
don't
for
want to. Yeah,
bucks.
I like being able to collect comics when they have something with it. I don't like, anyways. Like when I bought my original sketch totals, it came with the comic, and I was like, hell yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Next news item: Mondo, the Safubi, the Mondo Gecko, excuse me, and the White Turtles. You know, the white turtles with the red bandanas.
Yeah.
They're out now. Another news item: Super Seven, the Thundercats Thunder Layer has arrived, and people are starting to get it. You seen this thing?
Hmm. Oh, I've
Oh
seen it several
God,
times.
bro!
It
They're
takes
the
two
size of
boxes. Two boxes. You think your turtle van was big? Not even close.
bro. It looked like two German shepherds or something. It was- Dude,
Yeah, see,
it's
seeing that thing. Just imagine if they made the command center from Power Rangers or the Technodrome from the Ninja Turtles. Those things would be outrageous because they would go up to the extreme with the command center. They probably make it fold and all that, so you have a whole yeah.
it finally happened. Congratulations to anybody that actually got that because that is a centerpiece for sure. That is one of the biggest playsets I've seen in a very long time, especially for a
Yeah.
collector line like the Thundercats thing.
That sits on a shelf somewhere, very protective because that thing
Bro,
is
it is
expensive.
huge. I saw a guy standing next to the box, and I'm like, is that your dog? No, that's the Thundercats layer. I think one is the
Yeah.
body, and the other box is the accessories and the head. But I have to
I,
dive deeper into it. I'm not that crazy about it. But next news item: the the Paramount Power Rangers buyout thing is ongoing, but it's also going. And I found out about this because some of the IPs that they already have, they're hitting bigger numbers. Paramount controls the movie rights to Mission Impossible, and Mission Impossible is about to wrap up. I mean, they've been wrapping up since like the first one. I think Tom Cruise
yeah.
just wants to come back because they've been crying about that for at least 12 years. That this is the last. No, this is the last. I swear to God, this is the last. Please believe me, this is the last.
You know what? It's James Bond all over again. Let's be real. It will never die.
They do solid numbers. I mean, if Tom Cruise wants to keep playing the guy and they make money even internationally, what's the problem? But the problem, point being, going back to the whole Paramount thing, is that it's an older franchise. It's hitting like its ninth or 10th movie. So
Yeah.
by the time you hit that, your diminished returns, like we were talking about Power Rangers, like, oh, we were here and then we're here in space and then time for Wild Force, and like diminished returns. You're still gonna get returns, but it's just stuff like
It's
that.
gonna go down.
Transformers, I think it's going into like its eighth or ninth movie as well. Sonic is like Sonic 4. These are older franchises. So one of the caveats to getting Power Rangers with Paramount is that it's fresh. It's got an established fan base of 30 years, 31 years now. So you have fans that do care about it, and it can be a solid revenue stream. May not be the biggest revenue stream, but it is solid. It,
Yes.
so that's one of the big things of why Paramount is so interested in this. I don't know. You think Netflix would throw their hat back into it? Like Netflix is like, you know what? Let me give you a number and see what you do.
You know what? I don't think Netflix will throw their hat in just yet. I think if Paramount makes this thing work, I think what Netflix will do is get the movie from Paramount, stream it for a few months to see what people do.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because they want to see that it's going to actually take. They don't want to buy something that's going to be like left field, all of a sudden. And then, because Netflix is very smart with their business, always have been, always will be. Um, I think they would take it, but I don't think they will take it immediately.
yeah, yeah. It's interesting. All of these people have talked to each other, so it's not like okay, the Netflix deal we had originally with Cosmic Fury and whatever that went bad, but now we're talking about an entire buyout. And here's one of the things that kind of makes me think maybe Netflix isn't completely out of this. We just thought our last story was like these franchises are getting old. Netflix's biggest franchise is what, Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
I think they're into like season 5, and I think all the kids are grown up by now. So like, I don't think they got another Stranger Things 6 or whatever. And I think the actors got other deals going on, so you're gonna have to have something to come in.
Yeah.
And I think honestly, like if Paramount for whatever reason, we're pretty sure Paramount's gonna be the guy, but I mean
Hmm.
the new boss. But I think Netflix could be, because I think this would be Netflix biggest flex of all time, really. Because if you get Power Rangers under Netflix permanently, it's revenue. You got 30 years of shows. You got 30 years of seasons. If you get if either way, they're gonna work with Playmates. So whoever
Yeah.
ends up being the new IP owner is gonna be, because I don't think it's gonna be like all in house anymore. Like because Hasbro, like we talked about it off air. Like how do you mess up having the IP and the toy license? But like I think we're going back to a Saban, type issue where with Bandai, Bandai makes the toy, Saban makes the show, and then
Hmm.
we share files and information and renders to what these characters look like so we can make the toys. I think that's what we're going back to, that type of model. But I don't know. It's interesting. The here's uh here's a non-news thing. There's no news on the Ninja Turtles live action reboot movie. Remember we had
Oh
heard a couple of things.
yeah.
Yeah, not the last Ronin one. The one that was supposed to be Judith Hogue was supposed to come back, and they were gonna do like Ninja
Hmm.
Turtles 5. I haven't heard nothing with that. Uh, Speaking of the Turtles movies, Mutant Mayhem 2 is tentative for 2026. Bro, can you imagine that? Like if Power Rangers goes up against Ninja Turtles in the movie theater? Can't catch a break.
Mm.
Can't catch a
Well,
break.
I'll be honest with you. Honestly,
That is
between
that
the
is pretty
between
locked in.
okay, so I'm gonna be dead honest with you on this one. I'll go see Power Rangers before I go see the Ninja Turtle movie, the new one,
We'll see both. All right.
because the Total Mayhem 2,
Yeah, Mutant Mayhem 2.
whatever they want to call it, fine, whatever. I'm not. Well, I'm gonna get into this later because we have that last topic, but I'd rather go see Power Rangers than that.
Yeah, they can't catch up. See, I'm telling you, that schedule is tight. The next year and whatever, it is a very stacked uh, time at the movies right now with stuff coming out. Not stuff really right now because I think Red One is still out, and what do you
Yeah,
call it? The Nosferatu one that nobody wanted to see is out.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I heard reviews on it, and it's like some dude's a pervert, and that's basically the movie. He's not a monster. I mean, he's a different
Not
kind of
not
monster, but we're not making
yeah.
the
Well,
show.
he's not supposed to be the. It's a silent movie. First of all, it's supposed to be a silent movie, not the typical movie we know. Um,
Yeah,
yeah. Anyways.
yeah. Ninja Turtles, the relaunch comic books, issue 5 is out now. Because remember they hit a reset for the comic
Oh
book
yeah,
side.
the IDW ones. Yeah, with you
Yeah, yeah,
got it's like Leonardo. The second one's Raphael
yeah,
Donatello.
yeah.
Yeah.
Issue 5 is out this week, so there's that. Here's one, like I saw this, and I was actually pretty interested about this because this is something people have been complaining about for at least another 10, 12 years. Remember how much people hated the Power Rangers Overdrive, specifically the Once a Ranger, Always a Ranger one, the one where they brought
Yeah.
back Adam and Tori and
Hmm.
those. Okay, so guess what? Footage has been released, deleted footage. So there's like 6, 7 scenes that were filmed that were supposed to be part of it because this was supposed to be a TV special. They
Yeah.
were supposed to get like an hour on Jetix, but I think the whole Jetix thing fell apart. So they ended up just splitting. Okay, here's 22 minutes, and here's 22 minutes, and we'll cut out 4 minutes of footage. But this is interesting because it people did not really take to Overdrive, and this is one of the reasons that people hated Power Rangers Overdrive, because the Power Rangers quit all the time, and these deleted scenes show Sentinel Knight, the ninja of the season, that guy, the big gold guy. He was more influential into why the Rangers didn't come back and try to take the powers and things like that. So I would like to see a complete director's cut of Once a Ranger, Always a Ranger. So,
well, it's a possibility they could always put it on, or they could always make a special live stream of it or something. But again,
who had this? Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just like that one, the Once and Always has a few deleted scenes that I've seen now that like Trini's daughter actually does a scene in there that is a shadow of Trini, where she's actually doing martial arts and all you see is the shadow. But again, that was deleted. That wasn't actually put in there, and it was a deleted scene. They've actually filmed it, and that would be cool to see. Like, I guess my understanding of it is she's doing you see a shadow and you did it, the communicator, and she, transports you into the Yellow Ranger. But it's just a shadow. But still, it would have been a cool scene to have.
Yeah. You know who actually broke this? And I give credit when I see good things. Was, that guy, the Disney Brain guy? Yeah, him. He did a video on this, but he could only use like still shots from, because if you play the entire scene, you're gonna get flagged.
Oh yeah.
So, but he did have the screenshots for him, so he must have the footage somewhere. I think he has a different channel for whatever, but I know the guy's voice. That's the guy, the Disney Brain guy. He's the one that had this stuff, and it's worth looking into. I'll say that. So it kind of fills in a lot of plot holes that show also has, because I think there's another scene where Bridge, the one that ends up being the Red Ranger, Bridge, I think he like meets a baby version of himself, because in time, that's kind of where he should be, because if you're from the future or whatever. So there's a couple of other scenes. There's Xander hitting on one of the girls.
Okay.
It's done. It's still filmed, and there's also another one with Sentinel Knight arguing with what's the guy's name? The main dude, Andrew, right? Andrew Hartford.
Yeah, Andrew.
Yeah, they're like arguing about the Rangers and the powers and things like that's worth looking into. The Power Rangers, the Lightning Collection, Turbo Red, Lightspeed Blue, and RPM Yellow, they are still popping up at Ross's and DD's and stuff. So if you're missing those, might want to check that out. The Loyal Subjects at the Dead Turtles, the 4-pack. I don't know if you saw it. It's like a red box with like dead colors.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Really dark brown. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a 4-pack. It's at Ross now. It's a multiple Ross.
Already?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's pretty good. It's like $25. I mean, they look ugly as hell, but
they're supposed to. They're turtles from hell. Literally, they're a hell turtle.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw this, but I posted this on my channel, on my personal one. I got a 4-pack of the black and white with just the color bandana for like $24. So I was like, for $24, I'm spending like $6 a turtle. I'll spend $6.
Yeah.
I get all 4 turtles, but the gray ones with the color bandana. Those are nice, and they come in a nice black box. I give credit to the Loyal Subjects too. They create some nice boxes. They
do.
You've seen some of the other stuff. The comic book with the turtle. It has like this open flag inside. They do some nice stuff there. Let's see here. Here's another one. Loyal Subjects. The Foot Soldiers. They're getting re-released at Ross for some reason, because I've been seeing them in a lot of places. And I say re-release because this was from like 3 years ago that they did the foot soldiers, and now they're starting to hit Ross, which is weird.
Are you talking about the one from the arcade or the ones from the
no,
TV show?
no, the regular purple and black ones. The regular,
Okay, purple and black ones. Okay.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. The arcade ones. I think those were like Target and Walmart exclusives. Not those. The ones with the little
Yeah.
squares to make it look like fake pixelated. No, not those. I'm talking about the regular purple foot soldiers with the black chest.
Hmm.
Those are. I've seen a lot of them. I bought one, and we'll probably review it when we do another like loyal subjects unboxing one with the Jenica figure because I have the Jenica. But that's a future show thing. Uh, NECA, the last Ronin. See, we did talk about NECA. It's not. Oh, we don't.
Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep rolling with
Yeah,
this.
NECA, the last Ronin, the Ghost Brothers, the dead brothers. They're coming in a 3-pack. It was just revealed that they are coming in a 3-pack. So there's that. And the final news item, which was kind of our first news item because you were talking about it, is Tales of the TMNT episode 1 through 4 are very good. I've seen them. You've seen the entire season, so I know you wanted to speak.
Yeah, I've seen the entire season on Netflix because go figure. I was gonna get Paramount Plus for this, but I'm glad I didn't. I waited. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the show. I'm sorry.
You don't?
Yeah,
Really?
no, really. If you really watch what it is, it's exactly what I
I
didn't know it was.
I don't. I've only gotten up to episode 4.
Okay,
I
so
enjoy the hell out of it so far. I think
did
it's
you
so
understand?
much better than Rise. It's like a million times better than Rise.
But do you know what? Have you seen? Do you correlate what it's actually about?
I know it's one episode that they spread out. Basically, it's like one idea, one storyline with the Mechazoids, and they're really
Hmm.
stretching it to make it 12 episodes instead of what it should be, which is like 2
Okay,
most. But
so
up to
I
episode
want
4.
I want you to watch the first episode very closely. Go watch the first one again very closely, and you realize that it's a comic book. It's Leonardo's comic book. He is telling the story without you knowing it. He is telling the story.
Yeah, but I think they start padding out because I think episode 2 is Donnie, then episode 3 and 4 is like Mikey's perspective, and then
But
it
it's
becomes the
still
Raph's
it's
perspective
yeah.
of the events. They're kind of murky with the events because if you, this is very simple storytelling because it's one story through 4 different brothers' point of view. Okay, it happened like this. No, it happened like this. No, it happened like this. Mama's Family used to do episodes like this. I've seen most sitcoms like this is a very easy trope of an episode. I've seen Golden, whatever TV show you want. It's a classic TV.
Yeah.
They just like you're saying they did stretch the hell out of it because they stretch it for 12 episodes when it should be like I just said it should be 1 or 2 episodes at most.
And
Your point
my
of view
question is,
shouldn't take that
yeah,
damn long. It should be that different than everybody else's.
my question is, what happened to Splinter? Why doesn't he have his own voice? Because he doesn't. At
I'm
one
on
point,
episode 4, so I don't know if that's answered.
okay.
It is an answer.
So at first I thought it was okay. You know, he's speaking a different language. Fine,
He's
whatever.
speaking rat, yeah. He's like
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, no, he's speaking scumbug language because he's married to scumbug or whatever, dating or whatever. But that's fine for the first few episodes. But then when they go into the second half of the story,
He's
you
still
got
talking.
Raphael. No, Raphael takes over his voice. Literally, he goes, "I'm going to talk for Master Splinter," and blah blah blah. And it's just another story about another story. So the Tales of the Turtles isn't what I thought it would be. I thought it'd be, you know, like, oh, here's an offshoot of the movie, but at the same point, it's
It is.
gonna,
They just
you know,
yeah. I'm sorry.
yeah. But but what I mean is, there'd be in my mind was okay. It's gonna be the middle part of the story, but in reality, it's 2 different stories in its own little way. Like they incorporated the movie a little bit. Like when they did the episode where What was the guy? What was the name of the guy? The bad guy from the movie. Not Superfly, but the big one when he morphs in when he gets mutated again. Ultra Superfly, whatever.
Yeah.
Where he crashes into the scientist's building with his foot, and that's where she gets all pissed off at the turtles and wants to kill the turtles. That's fine. And then the second part of it's actually in the water, where when he goes in the water and he gets mutated. Well, they also mutated these fish, eel and a
I haven't
things.
gotten to that part yet.
Yeah.
But I have
Well,
the toys, so I know there's like a big. I don't know. I think they have to like mutate a whole pond or something because it's like the
almost.
other toys
There's
are like fish. It's very
there's a
fishy.
few of those, and it's
The
interesting.
episode title say it, snitch it out
Yeah.
too, because I think there's an episode. Splinter and April fight a fish or something. That's the name of the episode.
Yeah, they fight a goldfish, a mutated goldfish.
That's the name of the damn episode.
And you know what? I have if I look, okay, it's one of these shows. I don't like it as a show. That if I took it out of content of what it was supposed to be, it's supposed to be a middle filler between the two movies. So if I took it out of that content and said, "Oh, it's its own thing," I would have been okay with it. Like it's its own thing would have been okay. But I know that's supposed to be a filler for the two movies. So it's like, how do you jump into a comic book but made by Leonardo, and at the same point keep adding to it? I can understand Leonardo writing a comic book and having its own little. Well, this part of the comic book is going to be my point of view, Raphael's point of view, because it's even though it's his own point of view, it still loops around as to a one point of view at the one point. Like when they first start off, oh, don't worry, Master Splinter, nothing's going to happen. We can protect ourselves. It always starts that way, so it's still part of that comic book.
Yeah.
Hey, but I don't see how it's going to fall in between the two movies. Like, how are you going to turn this? Yeah. You didn't even have anything to do with the school, really, besides being with April O'Neil and going to a party at one point. It's like, what happened to going to school? What happened to everybody else? They bring up Bebop and Rocksteady, but they don't show Bebop and Rocksteady. They show some of the other mutants, but it's like, but they also talk about how Bebop and Rocksteady are not with them anymore, and they're kind of turned bad again. But how did that happen? Where did the badness come from? It's like there's so much they forgot to talk about.
Yeah. Look, why don't we take a little pause here for a minute, because I have somebody at the door, and we'll be right back.
I'll tell you what, I'll let you pause. I can't really pause the live stream, so.
Oh man. Then.
So I tell you what, I will kick you off. I'm gonna kick him off the live stream for a minute, and I will be able to see you in the green room. So just kind of wave your hand when you're ready to come back. Okay. So, all right. See you in a few minutes. So, anyways, yeah, we're talking about Ninja Turtles here. So let me know in the comments down below. I know people watch these afterwards. What do you guys think of the Tales of the Ninja Turtles? Do you think it good or not? I mean, my opinion is a little different than Masco's, as you can see. But again, I've watched the whole thing. He hasn't. But yeah, honestly, I just don't see how it falls into place. I mean, if you look at the Turtle movie, Mutant Mayhem, Superfly turns into the big giant Superfly. Okay, I get that. I get that when he landed in the water, the fishes, the eels and stuff became, massive. But what happened to Master Splinter's voice? Did they not get the actor? Why is this the Tales of the Ninja Turtles when you actually it's out of a comic book? April O'Neil is making April O'Neil is making literally a report for school at one point too. So now it's another tale about something that's already happened, but you can't see it. It doesn't correlate. It doesn't connect in any way. So I don't get it. Maybe you guys can tell me how to get it, down in the comments. But anyways, it's interesting to me. But if you haven't seen, I've done a lot of different things on my channel, and this is another thing. So Masco is back, so let's welcome him back. Welcome back.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully you didn't much of a
Tales of the Turtles.
Yeah, we were talking about Tales of the Turtles, and let's get your point of view. I know you only watched 4 episodes, but those 4 episodes were pretty massive 4 episodes.
Yeah, it's very different than from each other. Like if the mechanoids are, this is not super spoilery, but it is some story beats to it. So if you guys want to skip out this last part, or if you like turtles, you'll watch it anyways, like us. So fair warning. So the first four episodes are about the mechanoids finding the turtles, and Bishop is the one that sent them. And there's the guy there that's supposed kind of looks like Seth Rogen character with
Yeah.
the white lab coat and
Yeah.
that joke, yeah, with that laugh and
Mm.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's there, but all four episodes seem, from the four episodes that I've seen, are very like, this should be one story from four different versions. It shouldn't be that radically different. So I can see your point there. Like, it doesn't sound like a cohesive story. Like, okay, perfect example. I just saw this from Mama's Family. I'll use Mama's Family as an example. There was an episode where Mama gets hit on the head with a frying pan, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of the girls are in the kitchen, and she gets hit with a frying pan. And then in the episode, you see the three different versions from her daughter, from her daughter-in-law, and from her other daughter, Eunice. I forgot what the other lady's name, but it's different versions of the exact same event, which is kind of what should be the idea for this 4 episodes so far that I've seen. I know something else happens here, like you're saying about the whole fish thing, and I kind of see where they're going just by the toy reveals, but I don't know. It's not. I enjoy it as a show because I think the voiceovers are really good. The animation, it grows on you. When I first saw the animation, I remember we talked
Oh, I have
about
no problem with the animation. The animation I like. I like the
when I
first
first
part
saw
of
it,
the
I
series.
didn't like it. I didn't like it. I told you I didn't like it because it was way too similar to Rise of the Turtles, but that was just a bad trailer. I think that's what that was. I was
Yeah.
the trailer for it was bad, but the show itself is good. I like it. I think it's fun. It's doing exactly what it needs to do because it's establishing a new timeline for a new audience. These are for new people, and for legacy fans like us, we come in with so much baggage. We sometimes can't, you know what I mean. We can't see a new thing and be like, "Oh man, my." Perfect example in, I think it's episode 4 where Raph is captured by the purple dragons. There's a
No,
Hun.
I actually like that episode. I actually
Yeah,
like,
but that Hun is nothing like the Hun we know from the 2003 with the
but
big jacked up and the blonde ponytail and that's not the
but
same.
but again, it shouldn't be because he's a teenager, and that's the thing. That part of it I liked because he wasn't a grown adult fighting teenage turtles. He was a teenager trying to figure out himself. That made plenty of sense, and he still had this. I'm gonna kick your butt if you
Yeah, but
touch
using
my
the
chicken.
brick and he keeps hitting him with a brick and the whole brick
Hmm.
thing. That whole brick thing gets old because he does it like 7 times in the episode.
Oh, it gets
All
really
right, bro,
old.
we get
It
it.
gets really old through the show. Yes.
Oh, he does it throughout the show. He keeps using the brick thing. Oh man.
He is the muscle, but he's the stupid muscle. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, he's kind of sensitive too, which is
Oh yeah, he's an animal lover, and I think that's hilarious
oh yeah.
because he doesn't like the turtles,
He
but
has
he's an
this.
animal lover.
Yeah, I think they're hinting at something else with like the whole chickens thing. Because that his first episode with the dragons are like, oh, the chickens, the chickens, and he puts arms on chickens. And
To make him stronger.
so, what were you cockfighting? Like, that's when chickens
Whoa.
fight. Let's clarify that. That's when chickens fight other chickens. Chickens are known as roosters and cocks. That's why. In that, I don't want us to get flagged for that.
Too late. No, I'm kidding.
No, but it was just like I get a new interpretation on the character. Like Scumbug is supposed to be a dude that's an exterminator that gets bit by a radioactive cockroach or something. And in the Mutant Mayhem world, it's sort of a giant cockroach female monster that drools a lot. I get what that is. So I
Yeah,
I get
Yeah.
retelling the character. I'll be honest with you too. From what I see, I don't think that the new character that they're introducing, like all of those fish people that they're introducing, they don't seem very interesting so far. You've seen the whole
Well,
season, so you could probably tell me if they get more
I
interesting.
think the fish, the goldfish itself, is kind of boring and kind of ridiculous. He's the leader of these other fish. The eel, the
Yeah,
electric
there's a
eel
fish,
itself.
there's a goldfish, there's an eel, there's what is it?
There's some other ones. The
An
eel and
iguana.
the
Yeah,
yeah, the eel is actually pretty cool. I like the fight between her and uh I think it's Raph again. But her that fight is just awesome to watch. Like
yeah.
there are good parts of the show that is really fun to watch, but a lot, I just every show that has a good and bad side to it. But that
Yeah.
fight's interesting because no, that was Michelangelo and the Electric Eel. Sorry, Michelangelo. And the thing about Michelangelo in the TV show is that he'll keep bringing up, "I'm not a leader. That's Leo's job. I don't know how to lead." It's like, dude, get over it. And that's what the whole point was him to get over his fear of leading. So,
I
um,
I saw
yeah.
one thing. Maybe do they bring back the super mutant in a different way? Because there's a character called Turbo Kami that looks a lot like the big mutated version of Superfly in the toy shows, but I don't know if they bring her in the show.
I
So
don't think I remember that. I do know they bring Metalhead in there.
I've seen the Metalhead. I think I even got the figure because I was like, you know what the hell? It's Metalhead. It's a staple of the Turtles.
I think
It
he's in
looked
like I think he's in episode 4. Or maybe that's 5. But anyways, yeah, he fights off the droids for them because he is a droid. He's just a rebuilt one from Donatello's point of view. So it's
oh, okay.
pretty
So
cool.
there goes his story arc or whatever.
Yeah. So he still built them out of spare parts from the other ones
Megazord.
that yeah, the Megazoids. Yeah. So it's still pretty cool. I think the idea is funny because I think it's Michelangelo goes, "What's your name?" And he goes, "I don't have a name. I'm just a Megazoid." And he goes, "Nah, I think I'd rather call you Metalhead." Because they called him Metalhead at one point. He's like, "Nah, I think I'll just call you Metalhead." So, I mean,
All
it
right.
works.
Yeah. You know what? I'll say this about the show too. It doesn't feel like a chore to watch.
No,
Like the episodes
it's
fly by,
they do fly by.
like one after another. Oh man, that episode's done already. Oh, we're going to the credits already. When I was watching the Rise Turtles, trying to, I only got like 4 episodes in, and these are 11-minute episodes, and I am like gritting my teeth to get because all of the turtles sound the same. I hate the animation. I don't like the voices. I don't I don't know why. It's like
Did you watch the movie?
yes, we watched the movie. We actually reviewed the movie. That's why I thought the movie was so much better because the movie tries
Yeah.
to bring in Casey and it was about a year ago that we did the review of the movie because the
Oh,
movies
that's right.
are
Yeah.
a lot easier to get. It's
A
funny
lot
because the
easier to get
movies
through.
are a lot
Yeah.
longer than the 11-minute episodes. But getting through these 11-minute episodes, are like,
Yeah, I remember watching that with my son. I'm thinking the movie was fantastic. Let me go back and watch the TV show. I'm like, no, not the same
yeah, I
film.
had
Not
like
the same film.
Casey. Here's another version of Leo. And
Yeah.
I like that. I like the movie fine enough. But I said it in our review for that movie, as far as the Rise movie, and I'll say it again. All of those ideas with a different brand would have been much better. Like, put all of those ideas in a new show. Okay,
Hmm.
mystical powers, brothers. We came up together, but we're not blood brothers. They're like, okay, all of these ideas work, but not with the turtle theme on.
No. See, I'm hoping with the new show, when the new season, if they bring season 2 into it, because I don't know if they're ever going to make a season 2, because I feel like it flopped on Paramount Plus. That's why it went to Netflix so fast, because it flopped on Paramount Plus. But if they make a season 2, I hope they bring in Utron, the scientist in this case from the movie, as the proof that she is a Utron, you know, um, and then somehow
Is
bring
there
in
any
this.
update on Baxter? Or he's not in the first half.
There's no Baxter Stockman in this TV show yet.
So far, yeah,
No, but again, they should bring in Utron. Somehow they need to bring in these characters that were from the
yeah,
movie, and then somehow before the next movie comes out, they should find a way to show Shredder of some sort. Even if they just pan out again to like the bay, like they did in the movie, and show Shredder jumping towards New York or something. That was the thing. I was hoping to see some of these characters from the movie. Only character from the movie I saw was Scumbug, April O'Neil. Thank God she's in it because I would have been really mad if she wasn't. You know, uh,
I
uh,
don't know if I would have been
Genghis,
that angry.
Genghis Frog. Well, I would have been because it's a total need the April O'Neil. You know, there is one scene that they run past this girl that sounded just like Irma,
Yeah,
but it's not Irma, but it sounded like her. It was kind of interesting.
yeah. It's funny you say the April thing because I thought the April from the Rise of the Turtles was the best part of the show, of the Rise of the Turtles show.
Yeah.
And here, I don't know. You're right because you've seen the whole season. I've only seen part of it, and she is a lot more important if they're all in high school. But if they're only like in high school like once in a while, then it doesn't really make sense. Like they need her that badly if she's just a kid reporter, right?
Yeah.
Like one of those little, hey, what do you think of this? What's your favorite turtle? Ah. If that's kind of what she's doing,
Well, in this show, she's not even doing that. This show, she's um okay. So the first half of the show, where they're getting fighting the neutrons. She's just trying to help out. Find, I think they're trying to find Raph, if I remember right. Leo is, or
yeah,
find his brothers, and he says, "Oh, Donnie. Donnie has the cell phone. You need to contact Donnie. He's going to April, and they're getting attacked anyways." The second half is she's talking to Master Splinter, and Splinter is telling a tale that kind of correlates with the first half of the show.
oh,
So it's like it's the reason I don't like the show. I'm just gonna be clear on this. It's not clear on where they're going. It's like they start out with the comic book idea, and then they just totally do a 360 towards the movie. Like, oh
yeah,
well, we forgot to talk about the movie, so now we got to make the script that's part of the movie. So what we're gonna do? April O'Neil has a school report to go to, and we're gonna make the school report. You see where I'm going with it? It's confusing. It's like it's
yeah,
not straight up. Like all they had to do was go the first 5 episodes and have the comic book close or something. Good old fashioned way of closing out the first half of the show, and then having even a new comic book open up. That would have made more sense. I mean, if they did that as the Tales of the Turtles, fine. Maybe Leo's making a comic book, and then I don't know, Raph or Splinter or April and Nails making a comic book, and it's the stories that they're making. That would have been fine. They don't do that. You just see the first half as Leo making a comic book, and that's what it is.
yeah.
Because they even pan into the comic book when they do that. So
You know what? I one of the things I do like about one of the many things I like about this new show, the Tales Turtles, is it seems like they put a lot of love into the show. They put a
oh they
lot of references and they care about what they're doing. Sometimes you see the shows and they're phoned in and they're like, whatever, story of the day. Here it looks like they're constantly trying to like bring in things. Perfect example, going back to the Raphael and Hun episode. That's technically an homage to the episode from the original the 2003 show where Hun captures Raph and he's trying to dissect him and everything. You remember that
Mhm.
episode from the 2003 show? And they're like sort of in a fight pit and whatever, and Casey's trying to like break in and save him, and he's trying to save some little girl named Angel. Now Angel is like the leader of the Foot Clan here, right? That was
yeah,
his leader, and then the super leader is somebody else. I forgot the other name of the. That's another thing too. You're really starting to give names to a lot of different purple dragons, which I like and I don't like at the same time because you got enough characters you've introduced. You can't just keep introducing character. Because once you give them a name, you give them a personality, you give them a voice, you give them an act. Eventually, you have to mutate them into something and make them a toy. It's like
Yeah,
you're really spreading out. Like you say, the whole thing with the fishes. What is it like 4 or 5 new characters right there?
I think it's 4, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's
but you know what I mean. Like you're just winding another character, and with this, it's kind of also the Batman issue where you have established characters that you want to see. Like in Batman, you want to see the Joker, you want to see the Riddler, you want to see Penguin. That they introduce another character, or they introduce another version of Red Hood or Catwoman or whatever. That's fine, another version, but still, I need a Catwoman in this show. I need a Vicky Vale or whatever. You start acting in like, oh, here's a Bullock's third cousin, and here's the little sister or the brother of Dick Grayson's cousin from the circus. Like,
yeah.
quit spreading it. That you know, what I mean? You don't need
You,
this.
you know, I mean
There's enough
that's the
world. There's enough world.
that's the that's the other thing is they making it so spread out with the mutants here. Is I'm just waiting to hear Venus. Like when's Venus coming? I mean, they have everything else. I mean, they could just put Venus in there and be
You think they bring in Jenica, or they just
who
come up with another girl turtle name? Whatever.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, they just keep going and going with all these characters that are from the past,
Yeah,
from different things,
well,
and
that's
new
what I
characters.
think. How many characters can you have in a show? It's like it kind of reminds me of the whole argument people had with the Power Rangers, the the Sentai. Remember the one with 12 Rangers in it that
Oh
they
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
adapt it, but we ended up using the footage for Cosmic Fury. I
Uh
forgot what the
huh.
name of that
I don't remember the name, but I know what you're
the
talking about.
Sentai. Yeah, we can't make a show with 12 lead characters. These shows make like every day they introduce another 5 characters, and the Mechazoids are characters, and like more characters and more. I can't. Nah, like you're saying. I think that kind of goes with the not enough screen time. Because if you
Yeah,
introduce the Mechazoids, you don't have any screen time for Rocksteady and Bebop, or you don't have characters you've already introduced and explained. You've already introduced Napoleon Bonafrog, or I just what did I just ask you if Baxter's back? And Baxter was the lead bad guy of the first movie. How's he not in this? Because you had so many new
yeah,
characters.
because he's the one that created all the mutants, even the turtles. He created the turtles too by mistake.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's widening the net way too much. Way too much.
it's
Yeah.
like they could can me, and I know they still can do this in this like season 2. If they make a season 2. There's no Casey Jones. They could have made a Casey Jones. I mean, look at the Rise of the
He's
Turtles. Like,
probably in season 2 because this is
you
a
know,
2 season project.
okay.
I wonder if
Uh,
they pick it up after because we talked about this last year. Like the idea is Mutant Mayhem, then season 1 of Tales, which is a continuation of Mutant Mayhem, then season 2 of Mutant Mayhem, and then movie 2, which is 2026.
yeah.
I wonder if they come back for a third season, technically making like 5 series projects for this, and then try to get a third movie out. Like, how far are you going to stretch? Maybe I just don't understand the structure of it because we are in a streaming age, and maybe they're trying to like, okay, we
I
go
don't
to
know.
then they go home, then they go to the movies, then they go home. Like, but try to keep the whole thing going.
Well, like I said, I don't understand the structure where they came from going to school at the end of the movie.
Yeah, and then you don't talk about the school in the
And
show.
they don't really talk about the school issue, really. And it's just like the whole point of the movie was to become friends
Friends
with the humans
and
and
accepted.
all
Yeah,
this. I mean, they bring that up in the show that oh, you don't have to hide because everybody loves you.
yeah, I did see that a few times. Like,
But it's like,
funny.
but again, they're
You
not
say
going to school at all.
yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, that is true. But I have had an amazing, fun episode. How about yourself?
Oh, it's been fun. We had a lot of conversation. Oh, by the way, we have had a few new subscribers since last year. So
Yeah,
um yeah, it's kind of nice to see like 1 or 2 new subscribers every once in a while. So thank you for all the new subscribers out there. Thank you for all the old subscribers, and hopefully this year more people come and subscribe and enjoy our content. So
yeah.
yeah. I think this live stream stuff will kick in sooner or later, and people will enjoy more live streams for podcasts. It's just going to take a little bit of time, I think. So, like we were playing before, was do the news ones live like this,
Yeah.
and just have a little conversation. So, yeah, I think this was a good idea. I still think it's a great idea, but because I've noticed on my own channel, being a YouTuber, is more live streams I do, more people come and watch my main videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I've had fun, like we were just talking about, and thank you all for subscribing. Don't forget to like and share this stuff with everybody, Hasbro, anybody, Mattel, whatever, big name companies, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace out.
Peace out. There we go.